This is a 2014 Subaru Forester, and I've got a rock chip or something broke the glass, and this car is so loud. You can see the piece right here, the weather stripping is messed up, so a lot of air is getting in there. The crack's pretty big, so I'm going to replace it. I went to a salvage yard and they sold me this for $250. So I'm gonna take off. There's 6 screws. There's 3 there, and then there's 3 up here. And I'm just planning on taking off this glass here and setting it right on there. So I can't really film and do this at the same time. Someday I'll get the technology, but at this time I don't have it. But if you look in here, you can see the cracks are pretty big. So here's a screw, here's a screw, and here's a screw. I'm gonna take those out, and then I'll kind of show you some chopped up video, but I believe I'm just gonna remove these, the 6 of them, pick the whole thing up, and set it towards the back of the car. It's kind of stinks that I got this tall rack up here, or Thule or whatever it's called, because it's in my way and I don't have the key for it. That has been ordered, but I think I still have enough room. I'm just gonna pick it up. I'll put a blanket down so I don't scratch the surface, and I'm gonna pick it up and set it over here. So let me grab the right wrench and pull that out. But again, this is the way it looks right now, and we'll see how the other one goes. I just have to make sure, like, this is not really in the right position right here. It's kind of low, and I'll have to align that, and I'll show you how to do that. I just wanted to go over one thing before I take the rest of these screws out. The screw hole, you know, isn't behind here, but they give you this large notch so that there's adjustment. So once we put the new one in, this is still the old one, I got to take out the other screws. We're gonna, this notch right here being so large is just to give us adjustment so that when we adjust it up and down, we can do that. So I'll show you that in just a minute. Okay, I have all 6 screws out. There's 3 on this side and 3 on the opposite side. And as you can see, I can lift the entire sunroof out of here. So I just got to be careful so I don't break this glass anymore. But the whole sunroof lifts out. Now I'm going to kind of lift it and set it on a blanket that I'm going to put in the back here. Okay, I just removed the sunroof. It's up on top of the car now. The only part that was difficult is back here, there's a rubber grommet here. So I'll show you that. Let me go on top of the car here. Okay, there's a little wide spot here on each side, and that kind of held it in place. But you can see how bad this is over here. It got hit pretty hard by something. So I'm gonna get rid of this. And then supposedly there's some weep holes. I'm gonna have to wait till I get it all installed to move all this out of the way. And I'll go through those weep holes and make sure those are clear, because I did have some water in the back wheel well where the spare tire is. And I wanna make sure that's not a problem. So let me get this thing off the roof. And again, I just put down a blanket so I wouldn't scratch up the roof. Okay, so here's the replacement and the existing one. And if you look back here, you'll see this is the part, it's kind of strong. And it's got a lip here that allows drainage to go towards the front of the car. That's the only part that's difficult. So I'm just gonna clean this up while it's off the car. And the rubber on here looks pretty good. It feels okay. Feels the exact same as my existing rubber, except that's damaged. So at the dealership, This glass is $600. You can usually get it for. Like I said, I just paid $250 for it at a salvage yard. Let me grab a paper towel here. And if you want to verify everything's right there, written there. So then we go to the other one I just removed, and same glass. So just, you can verify that, 43R002136, and on here 43R00216. So I'm gonna start cleaning this one up and get it put back on, and we'll see how it operates and make some adjustments. Okay, I just want to show this real quick to show you what the weep holes look like in the one that's removed. So right here is the weep hole, and what they did at the salvage yard is when they took this out, they just cut the hoses. Whoops, let's see if I can get it focused. This is one of the hoses they cut. So the weep holes are actually in the sides. This is the front left side, like the driver's side, and down here would be the front passenger side. So it's kind of good that I can see that here, because then I don't have to look for them, but that's where your weep holes are going to be. So keep that in mind, and I'll show you the one on this vehicle once I get the new one put in. I have the new one all cleaned up and ready to be put in place. Recommendation is using a step ladder. Just be mindful of what's above you so you don't hit your head. And again, I wish I could remove these, but I don't have the key yet. It's on order. Anyways, got it all cleaned up. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of pass it forward and then bring it back to set the back edges in first. So I'm actually gonna have to bring this forward past the front and set it about here. Set the back of this lip in there and then kind of let it set down. So it's a really tight fit, but you'll put all the screws in and then we'll align it. The screws will not be fully tightened, they'll just be finger tight. So I'll show you that in just a minute. Okay, so my first idea of bringing this forward didn't work. What worked better was just to grab those flaps and pull them down. They're pliable enough to just grab them. And you can see here, it's sitting down low. When I just shut the car door, it dropped. But you can see it's dropped. I'm gonna put the screws in and then just line it up so it's even with here. But what I did is, when I was setting the new one in, from underneath, I just grabbed this edge and twisted it like that, and then it tucked underneath there and it was able to go in. So that's a better way to do it than to bring it forward. And again, make sure you protect the top of your roof, because especially if you have a bike rack or something in the way, but you need this to kind of slide with that. I did remove my antenna. The antenna's there. I just removed the little antenna piece that screws in. So the roof's not scratched, it looks good. I'm just gonna make some adjustments. Okay, all 6 screws are put back in. And some things I could tell you after doing this is my first time doing this, is that you want to put both your windows down in your vehicle, and don't work in a tight garage space like I did. This was not a good idea because it's way too tight. Our other vehicle's right here, and it just makes it really difficult to work. If you got a garage where it's just too cold outside, but if you got a big garage, have both doors open and it'll be much easier. So I got this pretty flush, and what I have to do next is I'm going to have to open it and close it a few times to make sure it is flush again. This feels a little low. I'm gonna have to check that. But the front screws were almost at their limit. So let me go ahead and turn the car on. Let's see what this does. I don't think this one does the tilt. Let me see if it opens completely without hitting anything. Okay, and I think it goes back a little more. Whoops. Yeah, goes back a little more. Okay, it's fully retracted. It looks like it goes back 3/4, and then it's closing the cover with it. Okay, let's go outside and see what it looks like. I'm pretty happy with this. Looks like it's pretty flush. I don't think I'm gonna make any other adjustments. I'm just going to make sure all the screws are tight. They don't have to be super tight, but you know, you're not gonna lose your sunroof unless the screws all fall out. But give this a try and let me know if you have any questions or comments. I'm gonna open this one more time and take a look at those weep holes. And maybe clean this up a little bit. All right, that's all the way. It looks like it's gonna be really tough to see these weep holes. Oh yeah, I can't even see in there. I'm not sure if the camera can see in there. It's really tough to see them. There's one right there. And you see the dirt and how it funnels down there. And here's the other one. Really tough to see them. I'm trying to use my flashlight on my drill. So a lot of guys have said that just use compressed air, but you see there's a twig. I don't know if you guys can see it. Twig right there. Make sure there's no debris in here. So I'm gonna have to clean this up a little bit. You know, these kind of things can plug up those weep holes, and this thing's just falling apart as I touch it. It's probably been in here for a long time. Little pieces. So I'm gonna clean this up. You can see there's more debris. I gotta get all this cleaned up and get a vacuum. But give this a try and see how you guys do, and leave some comments below. Thanks for watching.